Shabbat Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double lawns, apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to you, beloved Akim. Let us pushing this word in sincerity and truth with humiliation on the cross of all and see you. I salute. This is a brother Desire one back to you, another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashai. And I want to get into a brief lesson why it is important to take correction. Why it's important to take correction. All right. And we always say you can't look at correction as nothing bad. Correction is essential for your growth. All right, and many other things. All right. So if you get corrected or you get rebuked, all right, that's the Lord. Because it's all of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. It's all of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Let me start off with the scripture. It's Proverbs 3 and 11 to 12. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, neither be weary of his correction. Whom the Lord loveth, he corrected, even as a father, the son in whom he delighted. All right, even as a father, the son in whom he delighted. All right, because when you ain't corrected, what the scripture say? The book of Sirach, the 30th chapter. Let me get that and I come back to that. Sirach, the 30th chapter, because you don't want to be considered a bastard. All right, you want to be considered a son, so correction is important. All right, to Sirach 30 and 8, a horse not broken become headstrong, and a child left to himself will become willful. All right, because you don't get no correction. All right, you become willful. You do your own thing. You do your own thing. All right, so the correction, all right, what the Lord is going to give you, all right, especially, you get rebuked by a brother, that's the Lord, because it's all of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, this is the meaning of correction, not correction, despise, right? Let me go into the word despise, right? My son, despise not, refuse it, reject it, all right, abhor it. You see that? Okay, okay. So don't reject the correction. All right, all right. My son, don't reject the chastening of the Lord. Neither be weary. What it is? To be grieved, to feel loathing, sickening dread, to cause sickening. All right. To be vexed. All right. Don't be vexed of the Lord correction. All right. Because I'm gonna show you. I had an AI overview. Because all of that is for your spiritual growth. All right. The BB, my son, do not make your heart hard against the Lord's teaching. Do not be made angry by his training. All right. Don't make your heart hard. Okay. You wanna feel some type of way when you get corrected? No, but you gotta take that as a man. All right. Check this out, right? Why it's important to take correction. All right. It says taking correction in the Christian faith. All right, which true Christians are the one who follow the Messiah, the Mashiach. All right. Taking correction in the Christian faith is essential because it prevents spiritual stagnation, guards against deception, and fosters the humility needed to mature in Mashiach. So if you refuse that correction, you're not going to mature. You're going to stay stagnant because you hate to get ridiculed. You hate to get you hate to get corrected. You're going to stay stagnated. And it's going to be shown in your actions. Or you're not going to grow. It says in scripture, it is viewed not as a punishment. Seeing it viewed as a punishment, but as a vital form of loving discipline. Is all love that guides believers into righteousness. You see that? The primary reasons embracing correction is crucial part of the Christian walk include, check this out, It is a sign of God's love. The Bible teaches that the Lord disciplines those he loves. Accepting correction aligns you with his purpose and conforms your relationship with him as a loving father. You see that? All right. You see that? All right. So if he don't love you, he ain't gonna chastise you. All right. What does scripture say? Let's get the one in Hebrews. We always just bring this out. Hebrews the 12th chapter, right? Because if he ain't correcting you, what you considered? All right. It says Hebrews 12 and 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as unto children. My son, despise not the thou the chastening of the Lord, nor be faint. Nor be faint, right? Faint, relax, exhaust, to be enfeebled, to grow weak, to be tired out. Don't be tired when you getting your ass on to you. When thou art rebuke of him. All right. Remember the Lord speaks through men, you know. All right. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth. All right. So even if your brother correcting you, but that's certain flaws, what he see, what the Lord see in you, and he bring your neighbor to search you or to try, hey, you doing shit. You need to get in line. All right, don't faint when you rebuke of him. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. All right, to take upon oneself. You see that? He scourgeth every son he receiveth. All right. So if the Lord ain't dealing with you, but you's a bastard. If you enjoy chastening, Yahweh dealing with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But check this out. But if ye be without chastisement, wherefore are all partakers? Then you are bastards and not sons. All right. You consider the bastard and not a son. All right. Okay. So, hey, it's important to get corrected, but you see, accepting correction aligns you with your purpose and conforms your relationship with him as a loving father. All right. It yields, check us out, it's another talking about it yields spiritual growth. Just as an athlete needs a coach, Christians need correction to break in bad habits and develop spiritual discipline. It produces the peaceful fruit of righteousness, and it equips you, is a lot, for good works. That's powerful, right? It yields spiritual growth. You see that just as an athlete need a coach, you know, Christian need correction to break bad habits. So sometimes you will face these habits, dealing with these habits. But sometimes you feel like you go through a drug whereby, you're going through hell. But that's the Lord basically correcting you to purge that out of you. Because he see a flaw he want to get out of you. And sometimes you be so blind to the fact because you leaning more out of the flesh. But he trying to get that bad habit out of you. So he's going to correct you. If he receive you, he's going to correct you until he get that out of you. You all right? All right. So it says break bad habits and develop spiritual discipline. All right. It produces the peaceful fruit of righteousness and equips you for good works. Let's go back to the Hebrews 12 and 9. Furthermore, we have had our fathers of our flesh, which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? For they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now, check this out. Now, no chastening for the present. All right, when you getting your ass on it, you seem it to be joyous. All right, the joy received from you, glad, ain't seem to be feeling good, right? But grievous. Look up the word grievous, right? A person mourning sorrow, pain. You see that grudgingly. All right, no, but it's like it now. No chastening for the present seeming to be joyous, but grievous. So it hurts. The pain. Nevertheless, afterward, it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby, which unto them which are exercised. If you accepting, you're chastening by. You see, it hacks out that old man. That's what it do. All right, it hacks out the old man by. All right, all right. It produces a peaceful fruit of righteousness and equips you for good works. Only if you accept it. All right. It says another talking point. It provides protection from harm. Refusing discipline leads to going astray. Correction acts as a safeguard, steering you, steering you away from harmful behaviors, regret, and spiritual deception. So when you get your ass out of tool, all right, the Lord's steering you for harmful behaviors, regret, and spiritual deception. That's all. You see how important correction is? Protection from harm. All right. Okay. Because guess what? At the end of the day, that comes with the fear of the Lord. All right. That comes with the fear of the Lord. All right. Because once you have the fear of the Lord, it drives away sins, babe. All right. Okay. Drive it away sins, babe. All right. So correction is very, very important. Let me see if I can find something. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, Salakia. I think I was looking up something earlier. Proverbs 3:11 in the IO view, it says, Proverbs 3:11, my son, don't despise the Lord's discipline and do not resent his rebuke. This means believers should not reject or become bitter about God's correction. Don't become bitter. Check out why. Instead of viewing hardships or rebuke as punishments, the verse encourages accepting them as loving guidance from a caring father aimed at building righteous character. Understanding the core meaning of this verse involves looking at a few central themes. Discipline is a sign of belonging. The very next verse clarifies, verse 12, that the Lord disciplines those he loves, just as a father delights in his children and corrects them. It is a sign of his care and not of abandonment or rejection. You see that? So whatever you go through, all right. Now the brother is saying, I see everything, but the Lord see. So if the Lord busts your ass, that's love. You see? All right. If he giving you from a brother, that's love. All right. Discipline, punishment. While punishment focuses on penalizing someone for a past wrongdoing, discipline is proactive and educational. God uses life circumstances, conviction, and trials to train, mature, and guide believers away from self-destructive behavior. You see that? You see that? Destructive behavior from from your own flesh. It says the correct response is humility. The first warns against despising or growing weary of this training. Despising means to reject it with contempt, while being weary means to resent it. A wise person responds to God's correction with a teachable spirit, trusting that temporary discomfort yields a peaceable, righteous life. You see that? Trusting that temporary discomfort yields a peaceable, righteous life. So, all these things we got to take in. All right? Because this is very important. It says the New Testament letter to the Hebrews, specifically in Hebrews 12:5-11 quotes this exact proverb, deeply expounding on how enduring God's discipline is necessary for spiritual growth and produces the harvest of righteousness and peace. You see that? So correction is important, man. It helps you to grow. But if you don't take it, you resent it, you reject it, how you going to grow? You're going to stay in that one state. You're going to stay in that one state because you can't do nothing with correction. You can't do nothing with correction. Correction, always on time. All right? They never out of time. This is Sirach 22:6. A tale of the season is as music in the morning, but stripes and correction of wisdom are never out of time. Never out of time. All right? Never out of time. All right? This is Sirach 16. 11 to 12. And if there be one stiff neck among the people, it is marvel if he escape unpunished. For mercy hath wrought offer with him. He is mighty to forgive and pour out displeasure. As his mercy is great, so is his correction also. He judgeth a man according to his works. All right. He judgeth a man according to his works. All right. The Most High don't play bite. Okay. Okay. The Most High don't play. Um, this is another precept. The Most High don't play. So you just accept when you get your ass handed to you. You see? It's a blessing to get rebuked, but this is Proverbs 27 and 5. All right. Open rebuke is better than secret love. All right. Let me get that in the NLT. And get it in the NLT. Proverbs 27 and 5. It says, an open a rebuke is better than hidden love. Wounds from a sincere friend are better than the kisses from an enemy. So, it's a blessing when your brother correct you. Or iron sharpening iron. You'd rather wounds from a sincere friend. Basically, a friend telling you, hey, you doing shit. You need to get your act together. That's a real friend can tell you not than a person who seen you do shit and then, he ain't saying nothing and let you go away your way. That ain't no true friend. You see, so in the body believers, correction is always gonna be amongst us. Regardless of whatever you try, whatever you hide in your life, the Lord always find a way for a brother to come your neighbor to search you out when you do shit. That's how the Most High work. So, but when you getting corrected, accept it, be a man, be accountable, cause correction teaches how to be accountable, right? It teaches how to be accountable. Check out this other one, right? Talking points. Why it's important to take correction? These are the two talking points. It says it develops humility. Pride often causes people to reject feedback. You see that? Pride, and that's when one depart from the maker. Pride. Pride would hate. Pride would cause you reject correction, the Most I don't care what you get, whatever. If you doing shit, you can get corrected. Start with me myself. I take my correction carefully. Who's me? It says pride often causes people to reject feedback. Accepting correction cultivates a teachable heart, which is foundational virtue. All right, they say Christianity, but most of them deal with Christianity. So in this walk, all right, it says it promotes healthy community. The New Testament encourages fraternal correction, loving, holding each other accountable. You see that? That's what we got to do, hold each other accountable so the church body remains holy, unified, and free from destructive patterns. You see that? Gotta hold ourselves accountable, so you see why correction is so important? You gotta be accountable. When you fuck up, accept it, accept when you fuck up, accept when you fuck up. Don't say this and try to make excuse to justify you fuck up. Be a man and deal with it, Be a man and deal with your shit, Be a man and deal with your shit. You fuck up and then you trying to make excuse. No, the Most I ain't down with that shit, This is Sirach 20 and 1 in the NS, the New Revised Standard Version. It says, there is a rebuke that is untimely, and there is a person whose wife enough to keep silent. You see that? How much better it is to rebuke than to fume. And the one who admits his fault will be kept from ridicule. You gotta admit your fault and you're wrong. You gotta be accountable. All right, because the scriptures say a man will find a excuse according to this way if you paraphrasing. All right, let me see if I get that. I don't want to run too long. All right, excuse. This is Sirach 32:17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but find an excuse according to his will. All right, people like that, you won't get ridiculed. Find an excuse, and the Lord ain't into hand no excuse. Yahweh Shem Yahshua ain't into no excuses. So we in these times whereby, right, we gotta be accountable more than ever. You know, this walk, this journey, just get tighter and tighter. This is no time to be doing shit. All right, this the time that I'm more fear of the Lord in these last days. I'm trusting Him, you see, and take more correction. All right, because it's all love and it's beneficial for your growth in these last days. So at the end of the day, accept your correction. All right, I just want to bring out your spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.